Hey guys, what's going on? It's Uncle Tone. How you guys doing? Today we're going to be taking a look at a product that I have had for some time now, and I just haven't gotten around to reviewing it. My bad. We're going to be looking at the Case-Mate Fuel Lite for the iPhone 4 as well as the 4S. This will still work with the iPhone 4S, so I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but hey, better late than never, right? Cool beans. So, without further ado, you can pick this one up over on Case-Mate's website. There will, of course, be a link right down there in the bottom bar, as there always is. And I believe it is $59.99. And what this one is a battery backup case for your iPhone 4 or 4S. It's going to add about 1,400 milliamp hours to the life of your battery, I believe, something like that. 1,000, my bad. It's 1,000 milliamp hours. So it's going to add about 1,000 milliamp hours to, extend the battery life of your phone. In usage, that pretty much translated to me to about 40 to 50%. So it's going to charge your phone, say if you write down to 20%, it's going to charge you back up to, 60 to 70%, depending on how much you're using the device while it's charging. But yeah, it's going to give you about 40-50% more battery life, which could be cool on the 4S, because I know the 4S does have some battery issues a lot of people have been complaining about, which, to be perfectly honest with you, any dual-core phone is going to go through more battery than a single-core phone. I mean, it's fairly simple. It's just using more power. So there you go. They have the same battery in the iPhone 4 as the 4S. So, obviously, with the same battery and a more powerful device, it's going to use a little bit more power. It's not rocket science here, guys. So this could be super handy for you guys who have the 4S. If you haven't considered one of these before, this could definitely come in handy for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything that is included. Included, you are, of course, going to get the case, battery pack, etc. type of thing. And then you're also going to get an owner's manual, which is basically going to tell you how to use it, which is pretty simple. I'm sure you can figure it out. You probably don't even really need that. I haven't even looked at it. And then also included, you are going to get a USB to micro USB cable. And this is what you're going to use to charge and sync the device with while you're using your phone, while you're using it. This will still sync with iTunes, even though the dock connector plug is covered. Using this included micro USB cable, you can still sync to iTunes if you like to plug in, to sync with iTunes nowadays. Now you can use Wi-Fi sync. So, technically you don't even need to plug into your computer to sync with iTunes, but there you go. If you still plug in like I do, sometimes I still plug into my computer to sync my phone, you can go ahead and use this cable. That is included, as well as this is the cable you're going to use to charge it with. So, there you go. As always with Case-Mate's products, they also do include a screen care protection kit, which is basically includes a screen shield and a microfiber and a card squeegee for your install and so on and so forth. As always, pretty cool beans that Case-Mate includes that. So there you go. And then here you have the case itself. And as you can see, this is going to add some thickness to the, iPhone 4 or 4S. But not terrible. It certainly doesn't double it, but it does add some thickness, maybe by about 1/3 thicker. So there you go. I mean, it's not terrible, considering you got 1,000 milliamp hour battery in here. There are some cases out there that don't even have batteries in them that make the case, the phone, this much thicker. So, it's not really that big of a deal. And you're getting some protection with your device, as well as a battery to charge you back up if you're a heavy user like me. I have used this case a lot, actually, over the past few months that I've had it, and it's never let me down. It's always given me about that 40 to 50% extra charge when I needed it. So to install it on the phone, you're simply going to slide it in just like so. It goes up over here along the white plastic area between your glass and the edge of the phone. It does go up onto the glass very slightly. I haven't had a problem with Screen Shield bubbling, though. I'm using an Expert Shield anti-glare screen shield here right now, and I have no issues with bubbling at all. So there you go. I like cases that don't bubble my screen shield. I don't like screen shield bubbling. I'm not a fan. So then you simply take the top and slide it on, and this little Case-Mate logo here on the back is actually a clasp. So you're simply going to press it together just like so until the catch does up, and you are good to go. The side pieces don't really line up 100%. It's not really a big deal. It's more of a cosmetic thing than anything else. It works just fine. I haven't had any issues. I haven't broken it, anything like that. But they don't quite meet perfectly. So if you're super anal about that kind of thing, that might bother you. Didn't really bother me all that much. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cutouts on the case itself. The headphone jack is fairly thin. It's actually fairly thin all the way around this case, around the outside, so it doesn't add a whole lot of extra bulk to the phone. Since you're making it so much thicker, Case-Mate tried to keep it as slim as they could around the edge, so you weren't adding too much bulk to the case itself, to the phone itself. I always carry my phone in my front pocket, and I did the same with this. I didn't really notice. There was definitely some extra heft in my pocket since you have the weight of the case as well as the weight of the phone, but it wasn't uncomfortable. I didn't find it cumbersome or uncomfortable or anything like that. So, I mean, it worked just fine. Most of my regular headsets that I use work in here just fine. It wasn't really a problem. The sleep-wake button, again, not being particularly recessed, is very easy to press. You can simply tap away on it. It works just fine. There you go. The entire side here is open, so as I mentioned earlier, this will work just fine with the iPhone 4 as well as the 4S. Your vibrate switch will just be a little bit lower, be about down there. So not really a big deal. It'll still work just fine. Being completely open, accessing everything is very, very simple. Just like so. Taking a look at the bottom, you have a little cutout here for your speaker and your microphone. Sound was great. I didn't have any issues. People, when I was speaking on the phone, said I sounded pretty much as I always do. I was able to use the speaker on my, for watching videos and all that kind of thing, as I always did. Didn't really notice much of a difference there. And then you have your micro USB port here on the bottom for plugging it in and charging it, and so on and so forth. Now, to use this one to charge, you're simply going to press the button here on the back, and that is what's going to turn it on. It has 4 LED indicator lights, which will light up to indicate how much charge is left in the battery itself. Right here, all 4 are lit up, so we are at 100%. When you get down to 75%, you'll have 3 lights on. 50%, you'll have 2. 25%, you'll have 1, and it'll shut off fairly soon after that. As I mentioned, I was able to get about a 50% charge out of this. 40 to 50%, depending on how much I was using it. And as you can see, it is currently charging my phone. So there you go. You can simply turn it on, toss it in your pocket, and away it will charge, so on and so forth, no problem whatsoever. That is pretty much going to do it, guys. I think that's all I really have to say about the Case-Mate Fuel Lite for the iPhone 4. The coolest thing I like about this, I also reviewed the Fuel Lite for the 3G and 3GS a while ago. And one of my main complaints about it was the button on it was raised up off the surface, so I'd find myself inadvertently pushing the button every once in a while. This one actually requires you to hold it down for a second or two, couple seconds, before it registers that you've pressed it. So you're not going to inadvertently turn it on and off all the time, which is a cool touch. I'm glad that Case-Mate has added that to the Fuel Lite for the iPhone 4. So there you go. That's pretty much going to do it for my review on the Case-Mate Fuel Lite for the iPhone 4, and it still works for the 4S. Cool beans. There you go. Sorry I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, but there you go. Thanks to the very cool people over at Case-Mate for sending this out to me for review. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. And we'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Cool beans. Rock on.